Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome to Suvarnabhumi Airport. Today I'm giving you my locals guide to Bangkok International Airport. Whether you're just arriving in Thailand or getting ready for your next adventure, this guide has it all. We're going to be finding out the best places in the airport to eat, where to get a SIM card so you can stay connected, the single best coffee in the whole airport. I'm also going to be showing you how to get so much more Thai baht for your dollar. And finally, we're going to be doing all of the transport options to get you to and from the airport smoothly. Let's go. Okay, now me being me, this video is going to heavily revolve around food. So I've got two unbelievable food stops for you guys. One very, very cheap. One not so cheap, but still ridiculously cheap by airport standards. So there are some food options on the third floor, the usual suspects, fast food, garbage. We are going to walk past, don't even look at those. Downstairs is where the goodies are at. So we're heading to the first floor and the basement. But first, on the first floor, I'm gonna show you how to get connected as soon as you land at the airport. So I don't know about you guys, but the first thing I do when I land in any country is to get myself a SIM card. So on floor one, when you land at arrivals, there are some counters where you can get physical SIM cards, but not something I would recommend. For me, I don't want to queue up anymore. I don't want to be getting physical SIM cards, which brings me on to my next travel obsession, eSIMs. And I absolutely love them because there's no more risk of me losing my physical main SIM card, which for me is something that I seem to do a lot. But one of my main pet peeves, having to keep downloading eSIMs everywhere I go. That's why I'm so excited to tell you about today's partner for the video, Saily eSIM, where you can have as many different destinations as you like on one eSIM. So no more downloading QR codes for each different country that you go to. Saily has you covered all with one eSIM. So download Saily now. It's super simple, super easy, and we have teamed up to give you 15% off your next eSIM package. Use my code Gary Butler in the description box below. Grab those savings, grab that eSIM, and get connected as soon as you land. Right, I'm absolutely starving, so on to the food. All right, now we're connected, it's time to eat. So head down to floor one if you're looking for budget-friendly Thai street food. Head to Magic Food Point. This is where the locals and the airport staff eat. So you know it's super legit, super authentic, and super cheap, especially for an airport. All right, so this is option number one. And I used to eat here all the time. I don't so much. I eat at the stop I'm gonna show you next. But this is still a really, really good option, especially if you want a variety of different dishes, because they've got loads of stuff here. They've got roast duck, they've got khao man gai, they've got pad thai, they've got pad kapao, they've got stir fries, they've got halal food, they have got the lot. They've even got homemade ice cream. Now, when you enter this place, you've got to get a ticket. So you put your money onto a ticket. Whatever you don't spend, you get back. So I would suggest that you put more than you need to on. So like put 200 baht, and even if you think you're gonna spend 100 because you might need 105, and then you've got to go back to the counter. So get your ticket, get your food, whatever you don't spend, they will give you back. This may look busy, but this is actually quite quiet compared to how it has been the last few times I've been here. So I am gonna grab some food now, just so I can show you what you can expect. So I won't go too into detail because I have done a full video in this food court. So I will just link to that in the description box below. But as I said, loads and loads of options. But if you want to see everything else that they sell here, check out the link in the description box below. Right, this is the other one I usually get, Goya Jab. Very, very good. I'll Goya Jab now. So they just scan your card. Get a little receipt back, hop on a car, telling you what you've spent. And I'm gonna take this back, get our change. 35 baht. Look at that for airport food, guys. All right, just like on the streets, we've got all our condiments. So we'll put a little bit of vinegar in it. A little bit of chili. And off we go. Right, so as I said, I'm not going to go mad into this, guys. I'll just show you what's in this. So we've got some beautiful crispy pork, some blood cake, some puffed up tofu, a little bit of stewed pork, some liver, that beautiful dark, some stewed pork, some liver, and that beautiful dark rich soup. Do you know what? This is always, the last few times I've come in here, this has been my weapon of choice. Just because if I'm leaving Thailand, I know that I might go, just because if I'm leaving Thailand, I know I might not be getting crispy pork for a while. And if I'm coming back to Thailand, I haven't had crispy pork for a while. And this is good crispy pork. This is just a very good version of this soup. If you haven't had this soup before, it's definitely one to stick on your list. Really herbal, lots of Chinese spices, really warming, comforting dish. And it's not super common. So chances are, if it's your first time to Thailand and you don't watch the Rome being cooked, you might not have had it. But yeah, definitely stick this one on your list. I don't think you're going to be disappointed with this one, guys. Okay, so that's first food stop down. I want to show you one of the transport options on this floor because, as I said, this is where you get the taxis from. So I'll show you that. Then we're going to head downstairs. Second food option, coffee, and our second transport option. Absolute donut, forgot to change. Come on, have. Come on, go. All right, got our change, guys. Do you know what? I've got you guys to thank because I think that's the only time I've ever remembered to get my change. Anyway, on to the taxis. Okay, so when you walk outside, you'll see a sea of the classic Bangkok taxis. Now, this is not busy today, and the last few times I've come, this has been really, really simple, no wait whatsoever. It's only if it's really, really busy and there's a massive queue, I have another tip for you at the end of the video. But if it's just like this and it's normal, you're not going to have to wait. This is the most convenient and fastest way, and usually the cheapest way to get into the city. Well, that is if there's a few of you traveling. So you get your ticket, you find your queue number, which is on your ticket, tell the driver where you want to go, then off you go. If, however, you are by yourself, or there's a couple you want to save some money and you are going to the Old Town, there is actually an express bus now. It's 60 baht per person from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. The next one now is at 2:40, which leads me to believe that every hour maybe, but I'll check that. And this goes straight to Khao San Road, which is the backpacker area. But if you want to get a taxi, this is where you do it. So if you're staying near the airport, you'd go in the short distance taxis. If you're staying at like La Krabang, for instance, but for anyone else going into the city, regular taxi. And then if you have as much luggage as my wife does on every trip, you get a large one. Yeah, we always have to get a 6-seater because my wife's always got 15 bags, even when we're just going domestically. Right, so obviously I'm not going to get it, but all you got to do is press the button. 3 people plus 2 luggage, you get a small car, otherwise get a big car. Now, your next travel option is to get a Grab. Now, Grab is your best friend in Thailand. It's well, I was going to say it's a taxi app. It is a taxi app. You can order food on there. You can do all sorts of stuff on there. Think Uber for anyone not in Thailand or in Asia. Now, there is a Grab pickup point at the airport, which is absolutely packed, which is one of the reasons why there's no one queuing for the metered taxis. For me, this is absolute insanity. Why you would queue up for an hour to get a Grab when you can just jump in a metered taxi is beyond me, but you do have that option here. You used to be able to get Grabs from the 4th floor. I'm not sure if they still do that. I will check, but for now, yeah, you can come here and get a Grab, but I just don't understand why you would when you can just get a metered taxi and there's no queue. Saying that though, if it's your first time to Thailand, you don't know about Grab, definitely download the Grab app to get taxis around Bangkok and around Thailand actually, and you can get food ordered to your hotel. drinks ordered to your hotel. It's a really, really good app. So definitely download it. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. But just don't get a grab taxi from the airport. And that is how you get a taxi. Now, if you don't like taxis for whatever reason and you don't like buses and you would rather get the train, I will show you that now after we eat at our second stop in the basement. Right, next up, we're on my favorite floor and the one I'm most excited to show you. This is my favorite floor of the airport because this is where the bargains are, guys. So we've got the place that I'm going to recommend that you eat, the place that I recommend that you change up your currency to get a much, much, much better rate and a lot more for your money. We've got the train station down here in case you want to get the train into town. We've even got a 7-Eleven convenience store so you can stock up on water, etc., before or after your flight. But for now, first, let me show you Thai street food, this nice little cafe with really, really good Isan food. Right, so we've got a pretty extensive menu. We've got kway teow, we've got som tam, we've got nam tok, we've got loads of different stuff. I am going to get a set, which is over here somewhere. You can also get pad kap pao, mango sticky rice. So get, like my auntie always comes and gets one last sticky rice before she leaves. We're going to get the set. So I'm going to get papaya salad. You can either get grilled chicken for 189 or kormo yang for 210, which is grilled pork neck. So that's what we'll be getting. And you can also go mental and get a soup with it for 305 and a load of extra sticky rice. Okay, so these are the drinks they've got. Actually, I don't want to drink. Actually, mai palai kap, mai palai kap. All right, so because I live in Thailand, I scan to pay, but this is where you're going to use your currency from inside the train station that I'm going to show you in a sec. You're going to get a really, really good rate, such a good rate. Actually, this food is basically going to be free. I'm happy. I don't have to sort of fight my way around that food court because it can get a little bit hectic in there. If you've got kids, this is a much more peaceful experience to eat down here. And they have chicken rice, khao man gai. All kids love khao man gai and adults. It's just a good spot and I'm happy with the 210. ขอบคุณนะครับ ขอบคุณครับพี่ โอ้ Look at that. Airport food. All right, so we got some kormo yang, which is grilled pork jowl. Pork neck, they call it here, but it's more like a cheek. Then I've got the classic som tam. Thai papaya salad. And I've asked for it spicy, and it looks to be ped. Bit of sticky rice on the side. Can't go wrong with that for a $5. Always surprised at how much chili they put in this here. I just asked, and the chef is, in fact, from Isan, where this food comes from. So I expect nothing less. But I'll have a little dip. I'll get a bit of my sticky rice, have a dip into the sauce. Just what you need before a 12-hour flight. A 24 chili som tam. I mean, what you would expect from a som tam in an airport maybe, and you probably would get it upstairs in one of the more upmarket restaurants, is bottled lime juice, but they're using fresh limes here. So extra bonus points. It's super, super spicy, really, really nice. Just absolute Thai classic, done well, or Isan classic, done well. And again, it's just mind-blowing that you can get this kind of food in an airport. Right, I've got some nam chim gel, which is, again, if you watch my channel, my favourite dipping sauce. Chili fish sauce, or dried chili fish sauce. Tamarind, this one's got lime juice in it, and that fatty grilled pork meat. Absolute combo made in heaven. Oh. This is why I would rather eat here than the food court upstairs. One of the reasons, anyway. It's my favourite type of food, I think, in Thailand is Isan food. And this is done really, really well. They're from Isan. Everyone's really, really friendly. And as I said, and as you'll see in a minute, this meal is going to pay for itself once we go down into the train station and change up our foreign currency. So if you want the Isan version of this, they do one with pala, which is the fermented fish sauce, which should tell you that they're legit in here. They've got cucumber som tam, They've got bupala, they've got everything in here. And this is actually just really, really good Isan food. It's not just good Isan food for an airport, it's just good Isan food in general. Like, I'd be happy with this if I got this down a back street in Bangkok. I don't want to keep banging on about it. And if you guys like fast food, that is fine. But who in their right mind would pay 12 quid for a burger upstairs from Burger King or McDonald's or KFC when you could come down here and spend a fiver on some homemade, home-cooked, spicy Isan food? Make me understand. Right, so directly opposite the entrance to the train station, you've got the restaurant here, which we've just eaten at. And then behind, we have a 7-Eleven. So you can come in here, grab your snacks, grab your drinks, etc., etc. Much, much cheaper than going upstairs and buying water from any of the shops up there. All right, so I keep banging on about this really good tip I've got for exchanging money, right? So do not exchange your money when you get off of the plane. There are exchange booths before arrivals, after arrivals, downstairs. On the edge of the train station, they even have a booth here, a Kasikon bank booth. And I will show you the difference just by walking 100 meters into the train station, the difference in currency that you will get if you just change your money inside as opposed to changing it outside. All right, so what we got today, US dollars, 31.58. Euros, 33.12. Oh, she saw me coming and switched to GBP. Right, GBP 39.91. And let's go down into the train station. We're gonna grab our coffee. I'm gonna show you how to get into the city on the train. And I'm also gonna show you how much we can now get for our money if we just walk down and get it at one of these exchange booths. It is actually mind-blowing. All right, but first things first, we're gonna get a coffee. And now I cannot believe that I'm 3/4 of the way through a video and I haven't had a coffee yet. So we're gonna grab a coffee at My Brew Specialty Coffee, the best coffee in the airport, bar none. But if you don't like coffee, they've also got Thai tea, strawberry milk, etc., etc. But why I love this place so much, as you would have seen from my Don Muang video, they've got two of their own beans. So they've got medium, they've got dark roast, but then they've got like 12 other beans that you can choose from. Any of my avid viewers that watch all my videos will know that I just went to the same coffee shop in Don Muang domestic airport and I got a Yunnan blend, which they have here as well. So I'm gonna grab that now. This is gonna be for any of you fellow coffee snobs, like an anaerobic fermented sour number. So look, prices, we're talking 65 baht for a normal house blend. I'm gonna put an extra 40 on that with mine, but that's still only 105 baht, which is still cheaper than about half price of the cheapest coffee in Starbucks. So it's 65 baht for a house blend, which is ridiculously cheap, again, for an airport, because this is classed as outside the airport, even though we're in the airport, but we're in the train station. So 65 baht, I've got a stick of 40 baht on top of that for my unique blend that I'm getting, but that's still only 105 baht, which is still half the price of the best coffee you can buy in Starbucks, which is still absolute dog you know what. Moral of the story, don't go to Starbucks, and if you do, unsubscribe. I'm nearly at 100,000 subscribers, so please don't unsubscribe. เอาลาเต้ร้อนนะครับเป็นยูนั่นได้ไหมครับโอเคครับขอบคุณนะครับ Right, there we go, guys. My Brew Christmas edition. Bye. All right, so walk past the coffee shop and you're going to get to a couple of different currency exchanges. One is called Happy Rich. One is called SuperRich. Right, I'm not going to run through every currency, but if you have a look, US dollars here, 33.65, euros, 35.45, and where's pounds? 42.8. So I've already forgotten what the other one said, but I'm pretty sure for pounds outside of the train station, it was 39.8. So that would mean you get 3 baht more to the pound. So if you changed up £1,000, you would get an extra 3,000 baht. Now 3,000 baht will pay for a 5-star hotel room, lots and lots of beers, or an obscene amount of pad kapow. So I think you'll all agree that it's definitely worth it just to walk down a few extra steps, come down to the train station and get your currency here. If you want to donate some of that currency, links below. Oh, that's just a top cup of coffee. I mean, like, why would anyone go to Starbucks or what's the other one? Coffee Club. beyond me. My wife would, Helen would, but no, not for me. My Brew Specialty Coffee, the only place for me to get coffee. $45 to the centre, only 27 minutes, no more traffic. So this is quite handy actually. So they've got a map showing you all of the tourist places and all of the connecting stations to tell you how to get around. But you can actually scan this QR code and then it tells you exactly where to change to get to where you want to go. But this is where I would have to go. Icon Siam, then change at Phaya Thai to Siam, change again to Krungthonburi and just go from there. Which is the reason when we were by the taxis, I said that a taxi is a more cost-effective and easier way of traveling. Because let's say there's 3 of you, because there's 3 of us, right? I've got to pay 45 baht each, so that's 135 baht just to get to the city. I've then got to pay another 60 baht each from there to get back to my house, plus all the hassle, which is about the same price as getting a taxi. So it's maybe not more cost-effective, but for us, if there's more than one of you, unless you really don't want to sit in traffic or you are staying bang in the centre near Phaya Thai, near Makasan or near one of these stations, for me personally, it's easier and quicker to just jump in a taxi, depending on what time it is, because if it's Friday night, it could take you like 2 hours. So if I was by myself, I'd get the train probably or the bus. If I'm with Helen and Finley, I would definitely be getting a taxi. But if you are set on getting the train, it's super easy. Press the English button, pick which one you want, which would be Phaya Thai or Makasan, I'm guessing, depending on where you're going. If you're going to the blue line, go Makasan, how many people you want, price of the ticket. So let's say we were going all the way to the end, 3 people, 135 baht. Right, so we've pretty much wrapped up the basement floor. I've got one more tip for you, and that's just in case you can't get a taxi down here. I've got one more taxi tip for you on the 4th floor. See you there. So my last transport tip is going to be go back up to floor 4. Now this is departures. So you're thinking, why would I go to departures to get a taxi? Well, the good thing about coming up to the 4th floor is that this is where the taxis are dropping people off to go on their merry way. So these same taxi drivers do not want to drive all the way back around the airport down to floor 1 to get back in the taxi rank queue to pick up more customers. So here you can just cross across from the entrance to the outer lane and negotiate yourself a taxi that's just dropped people off. Now, as I said, the beauty of this is you don't have to queue, but you don't get the added level of security of getting your little ticket from downstairs and you know everything's above board. So you need to be confident in yourself that you can negotiate your way into the city. Now, I've never paid more than, say, 500-600 baht for a taxi from here, but if you're confident enough to just get in, tell them your hotel, do a little bit of haggling, this will save you so much time when the airport is super busy. Okay guys, so that about wraps up my insider's guide to Suvarnabhumi airport. Now I hope I covered everything. If you guys have got any little airport tips of your own, drop them in the comment section below so we can all share our little tips and tricks from Bangkok. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I promise you the next video will be in Isan going into Laos. We had a little pit stop at the airport first, but next up is our series to Laos. So make sure you like, share and subscribe so you never miss another video. We are so close to 100,000 guys. I never beg, apart from on the last video, for subscribers. But guys, please, if you get anything from these videos, subscribe. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Don't even have to put the bell on. I just want to see that 100,000. So thank you very much again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.